Okay, so starting with Shawna on yours, I thought by watching your video, I thought that your students were very, what would you say, like very like zoned in on like your lesson, and that you use their scholastic thingamajiggies, your newsletter, and like they were actually like interacting back and forth with you, and I can tell like you're highly enthusiastic, and that the students were actually like trying. I wouldn't necessarily trying because I didn't understand like half of what they're saying, but they were because ELL. But still, like I can tell like you walk around the room that you're interacting with them and that you're trying to correlate and relate to like on their level. Whereas some teachers don't necessarily like have that connection with the students. And then I'm trying to think what else. I think that's basically it. What I caught. Your students seem to really like you, which I think is like a big plus because some students may hate you, but you know how to work through that. And then I think that's all I have for you. Anything you want to add about yourself? Okay.
I really like the fact that you had a visual, so they weren't just having to like stare at you the entire time.
Yeah,
because that was one of the things I hated about high school was that the teacher would just stand there and talk, and you were actually like pointing and trying to direct their eyes to something, so they had like a focal point instead of just like aimlessly looking around. Yeah. So I thought that was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna talk about Baily next.
Yes, talk about me.
It was good. You like
superb enthusiasm.
Yeah, you were. I've never seen you so like,
Yeah, and that's that too with your video.
I don't know. I think it was good. You had their attention, which was good. That's really hard for high school.
Oh yeah.
Especially like if you have, because you have no credibility for them. You know, like you're a nobody.
I think it helps a lot too that like I'm closer in age with them compared to their teacher.
Yeah, I was
like
scared about that, but
I feel like they can relate to me. But then at the same time, it's like they don't know that I'm like barely 5 years older than them. But it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you did good.
I can tell like I had their attention and everything because as you can see in the video, they're all like
they're all actually looking at you. Yeah. But like even like your topic, I feel like it's a hard thing to get students to even like listen to. But like they listen.
White people, poetry.
Yeah, no one cares about poetry, Like,
talk about that pentameter going on.
And the fact that you kept them engaged because like if a teacher looks bored, the students are going to be bored the entire time. Like, if you don't even seem interested in what you're talking about, why would they be interested? But you, like, kept moving your hands around, and you were, like, smiling, and you were talking to all of them, and I think that keeps them, even if they got distracted, like, you would snap them back, which is good.
Yeah, I actually teased them at one point about the poem, and I was like, they act like it was a movie, because they like this song. So it was really good. Anything else, you guys?
No.
Okay, moving on to Kayleigh. Oh, dude, that does look like victory shots.
Dude, so...
Oh my god.
That's me showing them the music video.
So, overall, like, how did your teacher react to you showing the music video? What did she think?
So, at first, she really didn't want me to show the music video because... or not that she didn't want me to show it, she had, like reservations about it because it's pretty intense, and he's talking a lot about depression, and it's really angsty, and she was like, do they need that? Like, do we need to fuel their fire?
In a modern society, I feel like the topic needs to be discussed.
Absolutely. Yeah, and so I told her, I was like, I don't think it really doesn't meet or, like, breaks any of the rules, so it should be fine. And then when she watched it, she was like, yeah, there's nothing inappropriate, it's just intense. And they actually responded to it really well because they liked that, I guess, that I was being real with them. Because I'm not just talking about, like, the future, hope, or love. Like, this is about loneliness and, like, depression. And
I'm sure a lot of them can relate to that, so that's good.
Yeah, and then a lot of them were talking to me about, because the song is called Holding On to You. So basically I had them go through a poetry worksheet, but then at the end I made them flip it over and I asked, like, who do you think the you is that he's talking to? Because it's directed to somebody. And it was really cool because half of them were like, all the guys were like, obviously it's a girlfriend because love and da-da-da-da-da. And then, but there were a couple that were like, oh, I actually think it's God. And, like, it opened up a theological discussion. And I was like, ooh.
It changes your own perspective. And you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, and I kept the worksheets and I looked through them later. And it was really cool to see how they all responded because it was completely different. So it wasn't just one copying
across all
I know, I look like I'm a preacher in
But,
the 1800s.
but as you overall, you can tell like the students that are like interactive and like they're willing to wrestling.
They were really good for me because it's 30, 15-year-olds. I was like, I'm not going to hold their attention for more than 30 seconds, but it actually worked well. And then, like, I started walking around the room at some point to hand out papers. I don't know where it is. And it was like, when I moved, they like, sit up straight and they're like, oh, she's actually mobile.
She's talking to us.
Because I started off just there, and then I started walking around, and they were like, oh.
Which is really hard, like, trying to teach while walking around is so hard, I think.
Because you can't see everybody. There's going to be, your back's going to be to someone.
Like, I've gotten used to it now, but, like, it's so hard. I was like, because all your teachers just stand up there and talk, so it's like, what do you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
I always have that rule stuck in my mind from Pedagogy 1, do not sit down, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And but now, like, I understand why, because, like, as soon, like, even though, like, I watch my own teacher, as soon as he sits down, like, the class, like, goes crazy, but they have high respect for him. It's just, like, they know as soon as he sits down, he's not going to get back up.
Yeah, you just have to be active with them. It keeps them in line.
Well, and I think, too, if you're just standing there, they think they can get away with more, because it's like, oh, she's not even looking right now, but when you're walking, even if you're not looking at them, you're close to them. So even if your back's turned, you're like right there. So if they say something, you just feel like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
There's a lot more accountability.
Like, with your video, like, as they're working on the worksheet, they're also, like, still, like, multitasking by listening to you at the same time, and you can tell, like, they're actually, like, they're not talking to other people, and they're, like, responding to you. It makes sense.
Yeah. And I asked a lot of questions that it was just like, how many of you guys have done this, to like raise their hand? Because I feel like there was one point where this kid wasn't paying attention, and he was the only one that didn't raise his hand, because it was like, how many of you listened to like rock or I don't know, something everyone would raise their hand to. And so because he was the only one that didn't, people were like, dude, pay attention. And so it like helps me
It's like a general
keep
question.
the atmosphere like focused on me talking. So like raising their hands helped a lot. And it also gave them something to do.
Yeah.
Like, even if they can move just a little bit, they love the opportunity.
And asking questions is always good. Like, if you just lecture the whole time, you're not gonna care.
Yeah, and mine was almost completely discussion-based.
I think, like,
That's good.
overall, like, students do like discussion more because they feel like they're a part of it, whereas, like, you can lecture-based, like...
Well, and it's like your parent talking down to your kid.
Yeah.
But when it's discussion, it makes them feel like you're on the same level, not just, oh, I'm so much more above you and I'm so much more educated.
Like, when I, when I'm introducing myself to the students, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but hey, like, I'm glad, like, you guys gave me the opportunity to teach to you, because this is my first time, like, actually teaching by myself, and, like, you can tell, like, they had, like, as soon as I said that, like, they highly respected me, and they wanted to, like, put on, like, a good, like, front for my first lesson by myself, and, like, at the end, they asked me, like, oh, like, how do you, like, they even asked me myself, like, how do you feel after, you know, you taught your lesson, like, you did a great job. And I was like, my heart, I was like, my heart, oh my gosh, they actually care about me. They just don't think I'm just some dumb, like, person sitting here. So it's really good to, like, you know, interact with students on that level, too. And just to see them, like, I don't know.
I forgot to mention, I also let them move to get into groups for the worksheet, and they loved that. They were like freaking out. They were like, we get to go, like, talk to our friends. And then that was when I was walking around to like, okay, but you still need to work. Like,
Stay
you
on
can
task,
work with your friend, but you still have to do it.
For sure.
And then as soon as you walk, they're like watching you like a hawk. They're like, where's she gonna go? Where's she gonna stand next to you next?
Mine was already put into groups at their tables, as you can see. They just, we did, like, some weird game, I can't remember what it was, but, like, they, like, had to get up and, like, move over by one chair, and they really liked that. They thought it was really cool. And then they're like, oh, this is how you sit? Like, how do you see the board from here? Like, it was really funny, but, yeah, it was really cool at the same time. So, yeah, we just...
And I think pre-made groups would be helpful for practicum, because the teacher can... Like, they know the kids and you don't really as well, because they work with them every day, so they know who they should be with, who's going to actually stay focused and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, cliques actually is a positive thing here, because you can tell, like, people work well together within their own, like, like-mindedness. And so, like, I noticed in my class, like, they're already in set cliques, and it works well within there. So that's a positive aspect with cliques, but... And,
I never thought of that before.
so how did your class go overall? How do you think?
Good. They always work as a whole class together, because there's that big language barrier, and within the whole class there's other language barriers. So they just always work together.
Yeah, I noticed, like, as we watched your video, like, some of them were speaking in Spanish, right?
Yeah, there's Spanish, and then there's me.
You can tell, like, they were helping each other out. It wasn't necessarily we're just talking just for talking.
No, they only, like, talk to translate what I'm saying, or if I, like, tell them to translate something, if there's not understanding, they'll translate something. So, that's the only thing. They always work as a whole group, though.
Would you say, like, a whole group is better than small groups? Or,
for
them, language barrier,
yeah, for them it is, because if I just put them into small group, it's just going to be Burmese with Burmese and Hispanic with Hispanic, and I want it a little bit mixed, but then there's that language barrier. So if I did small groups, it would be like the higher proficiency levels together. Even if there's that language barrier, it'd still be them together. But for like this kind of activity, I always made it like a whole class thing, so I could ask a general question and anyone could answer, because at least one student's going to know the answer, and then from there on they can just translate.
Yeah.
And they can get understanding across that way. That's what I always did.
Yeah,
They seem to like it, so.
Any questions?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.